Lost Sci-Fi Books 381 through 385. 4 Vintage Sci-Fi Short Stories from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 1 from 1895. Written by H.G. Wells, Alfred Bester, Harry Harrison, Paul Ernst, and Lynn Venable. Narrated by Scott Miller. The Thing in the Trunk. Lost Sci-Fi Short Stories from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Book 381. Written by Paul Ernst. Narrated by Scott Miller. Somehow or other, the cat was the worst feature of this whole thing. Now that it was all over, the stark motionlessness of that which only a little while before had been a living woman did not trouble him so much. But that damned cat! "Get out!" he rasped. "Scat!" The cat slunk back, eyes slitted warily, but did not leave the room. It was a standard living room in a standard small bungalow. An overstuffed chair stood in a corner with a floor lamp beside it. Opposite the chair, along one wall, was a divan to match. A gate-legged table stood between the front windows, the blinds of which were very carefully drawn. More furniture, decorous, showing modest prosperity, was piled along the walls, leaving the center of the room clear. The rugs had been rolled back from the center of the room. In their place was a large waterproof blanket. On the blanket was the body. George Opper ducked his head to wipe perspiration from his face onto the sleeve of his shirt. He was a big man, a bit too heavy, with a face that was normally florid. It was very pale now. The cat, a sleek white animal, sidled toward the body on the waterproof blanket. With almost a sob, George Opper raised his hand to throw his gun at it, but he stayed the impulse. The gun, perhaps striking wall or floor, might leave a trace of violence for later investigators to seize upon. He didn't want that. He had been very careful about that so far. He mustn't let his unstrung nerves give him away now. He had been very careful about the whole thing as far as that went. Marcia, his wife, had come home secretly at midnight from the next state where she'd been visiting her.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?